Good morning. I was just thinking about what the date is and realized it's my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Papa Bear. I know you'll never see it though. Um, yeah, my family members don't really want to watch my channel. I don't know if it scares them or what, but they have better things to do. I did think for a while there that somebody was watching in my family, but I don't think so. Any old who. I am here to do that which is not. What's the word I want to use? Excuse me, my nose wants to see about running. There's been sick people in the house, so that's probably why. I almost took something for it, but then I decided I'll wait and see what it does. I don't want to take her expensive medicine when they might need it, and unless I do need it, but we'll see. So, what I was going to say is I'm here to do ether, and it's not something that everybody's going to want to listen to, you know? And it is kind of boring, but it's not. And just depends on who you are and what you want to get out of the book. This book is a history book. I mean, it tells of wars, and it tells of God too, and it tells of a lot of things. Now, here's the deal. I just started to read over a little part of it, the synopsis. And anybody who actually did go over ether with me, then you already heard this, but I'm going to tell it again. I'm going to want to tell it. Jesus promised the Jaredites when he took them over to the promised land, told them, as long as you worship me, the God of this land, then everything's cool. You'll prosper. Everything will be wonderful. It's the promised land, the land of milk and honey. I don't know if he said that part, but the point was he warned them that as long as they worship the God of the land, everything will be cool. Which means, you act like Jesus, basically. You love your neighbor. You don't be all mean and rude and, pilferage, rape, hate, kill, all that stuff that comes with war. So, he's going to reiterate that here in a second, because what it said is when the people are ripe with iniquity. I don't remember the last part, whether it said they'd be swept off the land, like into the ocean or wherever, or if they'll just be swept off the land through war, destruction. And they are ripe with iniquity, and they are battling everywhere, one with another. One with another on the same side, even. There's just war and carnage going on. So, there's 2 more chapters to Ether. So here I am to do 14, chapter 14. And hopefully it won't be as bad as Mormon was, because that book made me cry. It was bad. So, for those of you who don't know, the Book of Mormon is comprised of, I think, about 15 books, okay? A couple of the books aren't very long, but they're done by different people, is the point. And not everybody was righteous. I'm not sure about Omni. I think Omni's book was not very long at all, and I think he did it just because he had to. He was given charge of the records, and so he wrote a little bit and passed it on. He didn't write very much. That's Omni. And so I don't know, because the Words of Mormon is just one chapter. Might be a long chapter, but I think it's just one chapter. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to get on with this. And please forgive me for my stumbling around and not knowing how to pronounce words or sniffing my nose. I'll try not to do that. But it just seems to be a habit. I don't like it wet in there. You know, I don't like my nose wet. Not like a dog that's healthy when his nose is wet. It's just kind of strange. Um, I go back to the cancer doctor today, and I'm not looking forward to that because I don't know what that PET scan's going to reveal. And with my blood sugar being so high, it could taint it some, you know, where it's not an exact good reading. But I do feel my bones crunching. And I don't exactly know what that is, but I do feel it in my back and in my neck and in my shoulder. So I'll find out something today. But I'm still going to pray for a miracle, and I'm still going to believe. Can't be at this time in my life and finally meet up with my person and then have to leave. That's not cool. So we'll just see what happens. But I'm not giving up, and I'm not going to just become the disease. And I am going to get a hold of some ivermectin. You know, right now I've just been taking that paste. It's not really a paste, it's a gel. But you put it on their tongue. It's for a horse, okay? But they've been given ivermectin. Vets have been giving ivermectin to dogs. I don't know for what reason, except for that the dogs who had cancer got over their cancer. So I'm thinking that is a good thing. I want that, okay? And I've got to find I need to find a primary care doctor so I can get my prescriptions, because my cancer doctor refuses. She has no problem with me taking the ivermectin, but she will not give me a prescription for it. And you can't get it in a pill form, I don't think, without a prescription. So there I are. They've got it. I want it. She has no problem with it, but she won't give me a prescription. And the pharmacist said they can't give it out without a prescription. So maybe I have to have a primary care doctor that will. I don't know that she will either. Because I like I like girls as far as my doctors go and seeing my privates and all that stuff. And I prefer a woman who actually is a woman, who understands a woman's body, not a man. Not so sure. I'm not sure if I'm happy with my surgeon. He did have quite a job to do, but I thought he would do better. And the last time I saw him, he told me he couldn't make it perfect. Well, you know what? I wasn't asking for perfection. I was asking for something better, though. So he said he'd see me in 6 months, and at that time he would do whatever I want. So I'm not sure what that means. And I'm not sure. I thought I wanted him to be the one to finish up everything, but maybe I need to find a different doctor. Surgeon. They have access to all the records, so we could see about that anyway. And then I could just figure it's not important and not worry about it. But it is important. I don't like it. But he did take me from a cave. I had a cave in my chest, okay? Because they took it right down. There was no meat. And then the cancer was in my armpit. So it's not like it was right in front where they could just put in a nice implant and there it was, you know. Oh no. So he did good with what he had, but he can do better. I'd have never went to him if I thought he couldn't do it, because I really felt like I was sent to him. Sent to him might not be the right words, but by way of whatever, coincidental meetings with people. I felt like I was sent there. Okay. All right, so that's enough of that. Except I got to go see the doctor today, and I'm nervous about that because I'm going to drive my little car. And there's always that chance that you can get in an accident. I don't want that. I haven't driven in a long time. That cat's over there with his hair up on his back. What's wrong with you, little boy? He was sniffing the remote control, freaking out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read so I can get off of here and do a different video. I know you guys don't want to hear me rambling on. Rambling, that's what I do. Okay, so I'm going to do Ether, excuse me, Ether chapter 14. There's only 2 chapters left, 14 and 15. So, cheers, hopefully we can get through it together. I tried not to slurp. I think I managed. Okay, people, here we go. And there's, I think, 31 verses. Let me see. Oh, I can't do that. If I touch the volume now, it will shut it off, and it just was 11:33. I like my 33s, okay? Especially my 333s. And even 3s. 3s are my number. And then 33 and then 333. Yes. Okay. Chapter 14 of Ether. This is a synopsis. The iniquity of the people brings a curse upon the land. Coriantumr engages in warfare against Gilead, then Lib, and then Shiz, that's S-H-I-Z. Blood and carnage covered the land. Verse 1. And now there began to be a great curse upon all the land because of the iniquity of the people, in which, if a man should lay his tool or his sword upon his shelf, or upon the place whither he would keep it, behold, upon the morrow he could not find it. So great was the curse upon the land. Wherefore every man did cleave unto that which was his own with his hands, and would not borrow, neither would he lend. And every man kept the hilt of his sword in his right hand in the defense of his property, and his own life, and his wives and children. And now, after the space of 2 years, and after the death of Shared, behold, there arose the brother of Shared, and he gave great, There arose the brother of Shared, and he gave battle unto Coriantumr, in which Coriantumr did beat him, and did pursue him to the wilderness of Achish. And it came to pass that the brother of Shared did give battle unto him in the wilderness of Achish. And the battle became exceedingly sore, and many thousands fell by the sword. And it came to pass that Coriantumr did lay siege to the wilderness. And the brother of Shared did march forth out of the wilderness by night, and slew a part of the army of Coriantumr, as they were drunken. And he came forth to the land of Moron, and placed himself upon the throne of Coriantumr. And it came to pass that Coriantumr dwelt with his army in the wilderness for the space of 2 years, in which he did receive great strength to his army. Now the brother of Shared, whose name is Gilead, that's Gilead, also received great strength to his army because of secret combinations. And it came to pass that his high priest murdered him as he sat upon his throne. And it came to pass that one of the secret combinations murdered him in a secret pass, and obtained unto himself the kingdom. And his name was Lib, and Lib was a man of great stature, more than any other man among all the people. And it came to pass that in the first year of Lib, Coriantumr came up unto the land of Moron, and gave battle unto Lib. And it came to pass that he fought with Lib, in which Lib did smite upon his arm, that he was wounded. Nevertheless, the army of Coriantumr did press forward upon Lib, that he fled to the borders upon the seashore. And it came to pass that Coriantumr pursued him, and Lib gave battle unto him upon the seashore. And it came to pass that Lib did smite the army of Coriantumr, that they fled again to the wilderness of Achish. And it came to pass that Lib did pursue him until he came to the plains of Agosh, and Coriantumr had taken all the people with him as he fled before Lib in that quarter of the land whither he fled. And when he had come to the plains of Agosh, he gave battle unto Lib, and he smote upon him until he died. Nevertheless, the brother of Lib did come against Coriantumr in the stead thereof, and the battle became exceedingly sore, in the which Coriantumr fled again before the army of the brother of Lib. Now the name of the brother of Lib was called Shiz, that's S-H-I-Z. And it came to pass that Shiz pursued after Coriantumr, and he did overthrow many cities, and he did slay both women and children, and he did burn the cities. And there went a fear of Shiz throughout all the land, yea, a cry went forth throughout the land. Who can stand before the army of Shiz? ? Behold, he sweepeth the earth before him. And it came to pass that the people began to flock together in armies throughout all the face of the land. And they were divided, and a part of them fled to the army of Shiz, and a part of them fled to the army of Coriantumr. And so great and lasting had been the war, and so long had been the scene of bloodshed and carnage, that the whole face of the land was covered with the bodies of the dead. Pardon me. And so swift and speedy was the war, that there was none left to bury the dead. But they did march forth from the shedding of blood to the shedding of blood, leaving the bodies of both men, women, and children strewed upon the face of the land, to become a prey to the worms of flesh, to the worms of the flesh. And the scent thereof went forth upon the face of the land, even upon all the face of the land, wherefore the people became troubled by day and by night because of the scent thereof. Nevertheless, Shiz did not cease to pursue Coriantumr, for he had sworn to avenge himself upon Coriantumr of the blood of his brother, who had been slain. And the word of the Lord which came to Ether, that Coriantumr should not fall by the sword. And thus we see that the Lord did visit them in the fullness of his wrath, and their wickedness and abominations had prepared a way for their everlasting destruction. And it came to pass that Shiz did pursue Coriantumr eastward, even to the borders by the seashore. And there he gave battle unto Shiz for the space of 3 days. And so terrible was the destruction among the armies of Shiz that the people began to be frightened and began to flee before the armies of Coriantumr. And they fled, and they fled to the land of Korihor and swept off the inhabitants before them, all them that would not join them. And they pitched their tents in the valley of Korihor, and Coriantumr pitched his tents in the valley of Shur, Shurr. Now the valley of Shur was near the hill Comnor. Wherefore Coriantumr did gather his armies together upon the hill Comnor, and did sound a trumpet unto the armies of Shiz to invite them forth to battle. And it came to pass that they came forth, but were driven again. And they came the second time, and they were driven again the second time. And it came to pass that they came again the third time, and the battle became exceedingly sore. And it came to pass that Shiz smote upon Coriantumr, that he gave him many deep wounds. And Coriantumr, having lost his blood, fainted, and was carried away as though he were dead. Now the loss of men, women, and children on both sides was so great that Shiz commanded his people that they should not pursue the armies of Coriantumr. Wherefore they returned to their camp. Okay, that's the end of 14. Doesn't that sound lovely? You know I'm being sarcastic. You know the scent of death from a little mouse being dead. Think about bodies strung everywhere. Left to decay and rot. Okay, that wasn't a good thought, was it? But just remember, people, that history repeats itself. And we need to do better. I mean, we're not, what's the word I want to use? Just remember, yeah, history repeats itself. And people are horrid sometimes. And especially when you're so lost in the head. And not just lost in the head, you got to fight to live, right? So everybody's fighting and killing each other. See, you remember, wasn't it Korihor that can't be killed by the sword? So he's got all these deep wounds and he's passed out and all that stuff, but he's still alive. And under normal circumstances, he would probably be dead. And I can't remember the reasons, but God had said, not by the sword. So I think that's what I just read. Anyway, people, I hope you have a great day. I hope you continue on, and I know people don't want to read scriptures, but you just don't know what's in there. But they were promised when the land was ripe with iniquity, they'd be destroyed. So they must be ripe with iniquity. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to try to go ahead and read that other chapter today, and then I'll be done with Ether. Have a great one. And I love you guys, okay? I'll see you around the bend. Be good. Be kind. Especially, to your loved ones. The ones that you are in charge of. your little ones. I mean, anyway, I gotta go.
Mary
Bye.
Lou, here is your reminder from